Hey guys, welcome to Immortal Monster Wrestling and welcome to the Raw review. And this week, the show started with Elias sitting with a spotlight on him, having a concert, just drawing the heat from the crowd, and he was like bashing their hometown team. He was using the same tactics which he used to draw the heat, and then he said, "Who wants to walk with Elias?" The crowd chanted with him. Later on, he said, "WWE stands for Walk with the Elias," and then the crowd again chanted with him. And then he said, uh, he actually showed that the last week he hit Rollins with a guitar shot and said that he will challenge Rollins for the Intercontinental Championship match at Money in the Bank. Then Rollins came out and Elias was like ready for Rollins and with his guitar. Then Rollins just circled around the ring, went for the chair, came into the ring. They both Elias hit Rollins with the guitar, and Rollins tried to hit Elias with the steel chair. They both collided, and Elias' guitar just went off. And Rollins was like, "Yeah, now I'm gonna kick your ass." And then Jinder Mahal interfered. Both of the heels just tried to beat the shit out of Rollins. Then Reigns came with with the pop in the beginning, and then the crowd booed him. Reigns came, he made the save, and then Angle came in and holla holla player, we got a tag team match now, and the winner of the match will face the Undertaker at no, not this. So then they have a match. They had a pretty solid match. The heels at the starting worked on Rollins, and Jinder and Elias are not that good in the ring. They're sloppy actually, but Rollins' selling was like it made them look like they were monsters and actually beasts, and it was very good. Then Reigns got the hot tag. Reigns actually did very good too. Reigns did the same moves, that is clotheslines on the corner and Samoan drop and clothesline again and the big boot. But they were pretty good. They were not sloppy, and Reigns was a very good wrestler, as I've said. So he went to hit a Superman punch on Elias. Then Jinder went to the apron. He just clobbered Jinder with a right hand, and Jinder went down. Then he went for the drive-by on Jinder, but Jinder just ducked, and Elias hit him. I don't know. It was like a Elias actually hit kind of a splash with him. Then he hit him with a knee, and then they both worked on Reigns. Then Reigns just tagged Rollins, and Rollins got the hot tag. Rollins went wild on Jinder, and then hit a blockbuster on him, and then Sunil Singh tried to interfere, but Rollins tried to hit him, but then he jumped from the apron, and but Reigns caught him. Then Jinder actually pushed Reigns on the stairs, on the steel steps, because everything in WWE is made of steels. Rollins then hit a some beautiful looking suicide dive on Jinder Mahal. Actually, like 2 months ago, Rollins suicide dive looked like he was just hugging other guy, but now they are actually pretty fast. They are on the level, not on the level of Bret Hart's or Akira Tozawa's suicide dive, but still far better than what he used to do. So he hit a suicide dive on Jinder Mahal, and he took the. Then Sunil Singh tried to hit him with the chair, but Rollins saw him and then took the chair, and then as soon as and then he threw the chair in the ring, and as soon as he entered the ring, Elias DDT'd him on the chair. It should have been a DQ. The referee was just a dumbass. It should have been a DQ. It should have been a DQ, but nonetheless, Elias hit his finisher drift away on Rollins and picked up the victory. It was a solid match, but with a bad finish. At least it was not a bad finish. It didn't hurt anyone, so it was good. So it was a solid match. It actually built a momentum for Elias, and it actually furthered the storyline for two matches: Rollins versus Elias and Mahal versus Reigns. So next up we have Kurt Hawkins in the ring, and he said that he is 199 0 to 199, and he has 199 losses. Tonight he will win against a local jobber, and said there are for after his victory here he will be celebrating. So he had tacos and other things outside on the table. he started to beat the Jobber. The Jobber had a comeback, but Kurt Hawkins actually was beating him. Then Baron Corbin came in and just hit the end of days on the Jobber, which was a DQ. In this was a DQ, but Elias hitting a DDT on chair was not a DQ. All right. I'll move on from that. So yeah, it was a DQ, and Kurt Hawkins lost his 200 match, and then Baron just took Hawkins out and shoved the table on him. With Hawkins was all over the floor with taco bells on him and stuff. Next up, we have Corbin backstage with Kurt Angle. He was like, he announced that he is the new constable of Monday Night Raw, which I don't know where they are going with this direction. It was bullshit. So next up, we have Ronda Rousey teaching Natalia how to punch. Uh, then we have Nia Jax versus Natalia. It was not that good of a match. Natalia wasn't able to carry Nia Jax in the ring. Some people would say, "What are you saying? Nia Jax is very good in the ring." No, not to me. To me, Asuka carried Nia Jax. Sasha carried Nia Jax in her match. Nia Jax gets carried, and she gives an okay match. She's bad. She's very bad in the ring. She's very sloppy. So this match was nothing but more than a fake injury angle. It will, and I think Ronda will win, and which made Nia Jax beat Natalia. So I think Ronda will win at Money in the Bank, which will make Natalia jealous and will be like, I was not able to beat Nia Jax and you were able to beat her, and all that's bullshit. So yeah, it planted the seeds for Natalia versus Ronda Rousey's future match, but it was not good. It was bad. Actually, the show started to decline after the first segment, as many of the Raw does. Most of the Raw does. Next up, we had the interview of Bobby Roode. That he said, "I'm gonna pull every trick in my sleeves to beat Braun Strowman tonight." Next up, we have the match: Bobby Roode versus Braun Strowman. Strowman was started to beating him, Bobby Roode. Then Strowman went shoulder first into the ring post, steel ring post. Then he went outside and just took a he just took a steel ladder out of the steel ring. No, steel ladder out of the steel. Is the ring made of steel? No. I think WWE ring does, though it's very bouncy. Yeah, it was a joke. So he brought out a steel ladder and just placed it over the barricade and ring apron, and was like uh, making Braun to fell in his trap of the spot which Braun does when he just runs outside the ring and just hits a shoulder tackle on another guy. So he Braun chased Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode went under the ladder, but Braun stopped before colliding with the ladder, and Bobby was just taunting him, saying, "Now what? Now what?" And Braun just broke the ladder with his two fists and was like, "Braun!" and sent Bobby Roode in the ring and power slammed him. This was like, I just watched Bobby Roode in NXT just 2 days ago, and was like how amazing he was, and now he's just a goofball. They made Bobby Roode just a goofball, which is very bad. Kevin Owens was watching this match and was like, someone interviewed him and he was like, Braun is big, Bobby Roode has a robe, and sky is blue, but he's gonna win the Money in the Bank, which doesn't make sense. And he says Finn Balor does the too sweet, which doesn't even mean anything, and he's gonna beat Finn Balor tonight, and he's gonna win the Money in the Bank match. So next up we have the Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt coming out, and they had an interview in the ring with Renee Young, and they cut their same promos, which was entertaining. They were like wonderful and clapping and all that stuff, which was very good. And then there was a tag team battle royal. It had 7 teams, I think. The B team, the Ascension, Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler, and Titus Worldwide, Revival, Breezango, and Rhino and Heath Slater. So the first team to be eliminated was Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler, which have been pushed heavily on Raw. And I was first infuriated by it, but it was not like that bad of a creative decision. It was not that bad because Dolph was the one to be eliminated, and Dolph is actually the weak link. And I think Drew is gonna turn on him sooner or later, and he's gonna beat the shit out of Ziggler. Ziggler is just not even relevant now, not was relevant 2 years ago, and will not be relevant after 2 years. He just doesn't give a shit about wrestling. He just want money. He will sign another contract with WWE, and he will be in the same position, bitching and moaning about his position, and will still continue to sign up the contracts with. I I don't give a shit about Ziggler. I don't care how many fans of Ziggler are there saying he's underrated. He's underrated because of himself. He could have moved to New Japan or ROH and could have built himself, but he didn't. He just need money. He just doesn't give a shit about WWE. Look at Cody Rhodes now. Look at what Drew McIntyre did. He built himself back and went to WWE again. Look at him now. Ah, come on. Boo. I didn't care. So it was not a good match actually, and the B team won. That was good. B team won, which was good. The match itself was not very good. The Revival worked very well in this match, which they showed because they are the best tag team ever for me. I think Revival is my favorite tag team of all time. My second favorite is the Andersons, Ole Anderson, and Arn Anderson. But the first is definitely the Revival. It is the best tag team I've ever seen in my life, and I'm not even kidding. Look at their NXT work, and you will see what I'm saying. Next up, we had a 6 women tag match, which I actually skipped, but then I watched it later on, and it was nothing to. It was actually missable. So yeah, it had Alexa Bliss, Ember Moon, and Sasha Banks versus the Riot Squad. Alexa Bliss had a fake injury, and then she was like, "I'm going." Bailey then came in, and then they just had a match. Bailey hit a belly to belly, and then won. And then Baron Corbin was with Kurt Angle at backstage and was like, Bailey was not legal and was doing shit. It was bad actually. I didn't care about it. And then in the main event, we had Finn Balor versus Kevin Owens in a pretty decent match because they are Finn Balor and Kevin Owens. But most of the match was on the ground, so I don't know. Kevin Owens matches these days don't feel like the same they used to in 2015 and 2016. He does a lot more rest holds now than he used to do in 2015 and 2016. Uh, and it was a DQ. Kevin Owens continuously hit on Balor, and then the referee just said it is a DQ, which and Elias hitting a DDT on Rollins on a chair was not a DQ according to WWE's officials. Yeah, I'm gonna move on. So yeah, it was a DQ. Then Kevin Owens just set up a ladder and was trying to hit a frog splash on Balor on the top of the ladder, and he was scared of the height. Then he went low, and then was again scared of the height. Uh, and then mm, in this moment Finn recovered and then hit the coup de grace on Kevin Owens from the top of the ladder and then hold the money in the bank. Actually, WWE made a shit out of Kevin Owens. They don't know how many ladder spots Kevin Owens has done in ROH, and they forgot about his ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship in 2016 WrestleMania 32. Kevin Owens has done far more dangerous spots from the ladder, and they just made the shit out of Kevin Owens. Actually, I completely forgot one segment in the middle. It was Bobby Lashley coming out and was like, uh, mm, Sami Zayn, come out right now. Let's talk about my sisters. Sami Zayn came out, but he didn't went face to face with Bobby Lashley. He went around the arena. He was roaming around the arena saying that Bobby Lashley is a hypocrite. He's a liar. He was. It was a bad segment. Sami Zayn tried his best to carry this segment, but it was bad. And then Sami Zayn said, "It'll you are a liar. I don't even know even if you even have sisters." Lashley was like, "Yeah, that's cool." And then he said, "I don't even think that you were in the military." And Lashley was like, "No, you're a bad motherfucker. How did you say something?" No, I don't know why they always bring the military angles in this stuff, and the crowd was chanting USA, USA, which is bullshit. We love the military in India too, but we don't do stuff like this. That was bad. The first segment was good, and the main event was decent. The rest of the show was very bad. If I actually watched Wrestle Talk, so if I have to grade according to Holly Davis rating, I will give it a poor. It was bad. It was very bad. So yeah, that was my Raw review. Tomorrow it will be my SmackDown review, and if you haven't watched a video, my Indian fellas, you can watch the video. Is wrestling fake, and why should I watch it? It is in Hindi. So thank you and have a nice day. This is Mortal Monster Wrestling, and I'm your host Manchu Sharma. Thank you and have a nice day.